Pitch it. To be frank, Big Trouble in Little Champasak probably isn't going to bring in the matinee crowds we need. It might not make it to sci-fi, let alone Lifetime. Your pitch for Dr. Sunmay Strikes Again wasn't quite the response to Battle Hymn of a Tiger Mother we were looking for. Zombies stretch our budget a bit too far. The Betrayal may have gotten an Oscar nomination, but that won't buy you lunch on this side of town. Not even a used hubcap for a junky Gran Torino. You laugh too much at your origin stories. If you survive CIA Black Ops and make it to America, you need tears galore, or no one takes you seriously. An enduring smile and a sub-ID for being alive in diaspora is unbelievable. No one's that unbreakable. No one. Nobody knows what's so funny about an American werewolf in non-Provence. They definitely won't buy the story of Dracula, immune to garlic and lemongrass but dreading pungy steaks. Sleepless in Savannakhet will not be the feel-good breakout rom-com of the year for obvious reasons, even with Angelina. Neither will How Supani Got Her Groove Back. Nice try with Fresh Off the Starships, but that's a hard pass. We had in mind more of a Miss Saigon with Pad Thai meets the Joy Luck Slumdog namesake in translation for your undiscovered country. It's premature to be discussing the shared universe between Elephant Stomp, Princess of Laos, and Lao Warrior. We won't lay the groundwork for Laosploitation cinema with your Avenging Morlum godfather. Little Laos on the Prairie, the music, well, has a shot, but we can't see a love interest for Matt Damon. You're frustrated, but remember, you don't exist in America without a movie about yourselves these days. What are you going to do? Write a poem? Yeah, good luck with A Better Giovanni. Poultry. Scrawny daughters of dinosaurs, your lovers never shut up, preening in streets filled with black feathers, as if every hour is the start of a new day, and the sun won't ascend without them. Beneath your bamboo domes I see every soft throat with its destiny of edge and demise. You're in hot water, losing every frantic thread that failed your sad quest for flight. Your legs stiffen without eulogies, and your wings can't pray their petitions to the god of the Archaeopteryx for delivery. Arriving in St. Paul, immigration asks me if I've been in contact with livestock. I want to say, are you kidding? Have you ever even been to my homeland? Looking out to the rising sun, my breakfast will never see again. Returning. Growing up in the Midwest in the 1980s, I ran into the idea of there and back again, of shires and armies and the mistakes of old men, to say nothing of monsters, of magic, an appreciation for roads and places undreamt by youth from Vientiane, the realm of a million elephants. Going on the road or on travels with Charlie seemed so far away, even as the poet's road became mine. The other day, I drove across acres of olives and almonds and wine, to ports filled with coffee and fish, dancers from Nanshan. There was a stop in Missoula, a memory of vows and naturalization. A hot dog under big sky, hounds barking like Cerberus, keep going. In Sturgis, they love motorcycles and handguns. In Wall, there's jackalopes and plague-ridden prairie dogs. I wake up in the Midwest again, visiting Tufi Kaiju, a rusting robot from the future. I cannot tell you any more who was invading, who was defending. A singer I knew found fame beneath a clown's grease paint, while I tell you of stars I know where I'll never set foot. Memory is a writhing hydra, yet I feel this poem most when it is Hercules with a sputtering torch. Sticky Rice Blues. I've seen it 1,000 times in a dozen years, read the rules, watched the videos, talked it over until someone's turned a different color. You never feel less Asian than days you burn rice. But it's possible, even with a brand new bamboo steamer, a fistful of cornmeal, some heat and water. Some days it's easier to be a cat in a temple, a morning fog, a frog splashing into a pond, a hungry ghost on a holiday, waiting for a bell from hell to ring. Surprises in America. It took me by surprise, but Hitler was a vegetarian. Rudolf Hess, too. I remember reading about them as a boy. I remember the outrage when someone asked us to forgive them because the two would pet their dogs before night. It took me by surprise that Soldier of Fortune magazine offered a reward for Idi Amin, paid in gold, dead or alive. It was a lot of money. What does it say when mercenaries set bounties on tyrants' heads? It took me by surprise that we weren't always the good guys. What couldn't we buy in the land of the free? Why couldn't we go where we weren't welcome? It struck me by surprise that many people didn't believe I was an American when I had lived here all of my life, except for that 2-day trip to Toronto. If they had told me instead that my mother had died, I don't think I would have been as surprised. The Buddha of Bommies. There were more cluster bombs than people in Laos. They stopped falling in the year I was born. America left soon after. The other day, a young woman I know saw people turning war scrap into fashionable bracelets. No one considers turning them into statues of Buddha. Recycling only goes so far out here. A third of those who die every year are under 12, caught in the hot, swift center of flame and shrapnel, dormant for nearly 4 decades. Most of their parents weren't even born when these lethal leftovers were dropped. In America, my nieces sing, "London Bridge is falling down." In Laos, my nieces sing songs not to touch the bommies. My new next-door neighbor is an old F-105 pilot my father picked up from the Hanoi Hilton. He knows my country well, but we don't have much to talk about, except our gardens. My cousin flew into Afghanistan at the start of a new war. We haven't spoken in years. I look at the picture of hell in my mother's temple near Modesto. It's a new year, and young children run with toy guns sold to them by a vendor who could care less about karma and history. Our monks bless every living thing in sight, hoping it will do some good for a change. The deep ones. From the sea we come. From the sea we come, our mouths the inns of the world, the salt of the earth unwelcome at the tables and charts of the explorers who expect commodity implying territory, kingdoms, not wisdom, blood, not heaven's children. We grow with uncertain immortality at the edge not made for man, bending, curving, humming cosmic, awake and alien. Our mass a darkened foaming mask, a bed of enigma to certain eyes, one with the moon, one with the stars, one with the ash that whispers history, in the same breath as gods whose great backs yawn before us, as we change with a growing tongue, growling amid the dreamlands we built, one blade, one leaf, one golden wall at a time.